Freya?
Yes, it is. It is Carl.
It is, yes. How are you? You okay?
I'm good, thank you. Can I just put my AirPods in 1 second?
Yes, of course, yeah.
I'm just in the car.
Ah, okay.
There we go. How are you?
I'm alright, yeah. I've got to tell you, my daughter's a big fan of yours, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have discovered your music. So it's not like I got approached by PR to interview such and such. I know of you. I've been a fan of your music for a while now, so
What's her name?
Neve, N-I-A-M-H. Neve, as in the Irish way, spelling Neve, N-I-A-M-H, yeah.
My mum has a lot of Irish family, so I know Neve by the name. That's beautiful. Oh, how old is she?
She's just turned 11, actually, so yeah, she's quite young.
So she's like still quite little. Oh, bless her.
So yeah, she's there today. She told me just to tell you you've got a wonderful voice and she loves you, so.
Well, say thank you to Neve. I'd love for you guys to come to a show sometime. We'll just say hi afterwards.
Yes, that's okay. Lovely. Yeah, we're going to come to see you in Cardiff actually. So if that's okay, we'll come and say. Can we come say hello then? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely come say hi. I'm so excited to be back playing Cardiff. We haven't played there in ages. Yeah. I really miss it.
Yeah, no, I mean you've done so well. I mean, the last 2 years has been a whirlwind for you, hasn't it? I mean,
I'm not going to lie. Yeah. It's been unbelievable, kind of, to look back especially. You're like, quite overwhelming. I think it's just like, you're just doing like day to day, you're just kind of like, playing the point and not trying to think too much. So looking back, I'm so proud of just the team around me and like how hard everyone's worked.
I mean, how was it? Well, I mean, I know you signed to Good Soldier, aren't you? Good Soldier Records, Good Soldier Songs. I mean, what is the story behind them? Are they more of a, are they signed to a bigger, or are they just like a proper independent?
They're a proper indie label. Like literally, when I first came into the office, I think it was like 5 people around the sort of kitchen table kind of vibe.
Okay.
There's a lot more people around the table now, but I'm like, it was such a small team. But I love that, and I love that kind of like family, like everyone sort of working together mentality, and it meant that they had a lot of faith in me.
Yeah.
When I know that. I don't know, there was some interest from majors before I signed with Good Soldier in 2016, and it was like they were always kind of saying, I'd have to write happier songs, and I was like, this just doesn't feel right. Yeah. So when I met Good Soldier, and they were like, you can, keep your second name, and like, just write the songs, and you play the songs you want to play. It was just a beautiful revelation. I'm still so grateful to them for that.
Yeah, so it's all about the control. I mean, I know you've got the full package. I mean, you've got the voice and you can write songs as well, but you've got a bit of control there, like you say, because I know with the big ones, the big companies, you would probably lose a bit of that control, wouldn't you, I guess?
You do so much for yourself, I think, in those situations, and I was lucky enough that I sort of had a few years in the wilderness, because I kind of almost signed to a major, but then I didn't want to.
Yeah.
So I had those years to kind of like crystallize who I was without any interest from anyone.
Right.
So when you actually, you meet the right person, I guess it's like a relationship. It's like you met the right person. It was just it felt sort of just meant to be. It felt kind of just like the perfect match.
Yeah.
Because they were sort of small and indie, and I wanted to make music that wasn't, at the time, that mainstream. So cool. Yeah,
but I mean, I guess with your songs though, I spoke to, I don't know if you know the singer Jack Savaretti.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I spoke to him.
Lovely. He sent me some emails once. He's lovely.
I spoke to him yesterday. I did an interview with him yesterday, and he was telling me about, writing a song is all about being a storyteller more so than being a singer, because you're singing, you're telling a story in your words and your lyrics, and that's what Jack's big on. And I guess that's the same with yourself, isn't it? Because I know with your song Lost Without You, that was about heartbreak or something like that, wasn't it? And I'm a big believer in...
It's kind of overcoming that loneliness after heartbreak as well, yeah.
Right. I'm a big believer in fate, and everything happens for a reason. So if it wasn't for that thing happening to you, you wouldn't have written Lost Without You, and you wouldn't be... I'm not saying you wouldn't be where you are, but Lost Without You was probably one of the big break that you had, I guess, wasn't it?
Massive. And you do have that weird perspective, like, with things like, you can kind of turn those darkest days into, something that has completely changed your life. Like, it's just insane. It's like, if you can turn on a painful life into your greatest joy, it feels like it's a superpower. But at the same time, it's like, it took many, many years of like, writing songs that people didn't connect with to try and find the one that they did. And so I was just blown away that it was one that sort of came from such a real place. Like, after I wrote it, I didn't think I would ever play it live.
Okay.
So it was a really strange thing to see people like take the song like into their lives that much, because I was not expecting it at all.
I mean, what made you decide to actually sing it live then? I mean, what was the catalyst for that, you know?
I think it was like playing it to my mum, and she sort of like started crying, and she doesn't cry that often.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa, and we just had a little moment, and she was like, I really feel like if you played that you know, people would want to hear it. And I was like, no, it's too personal, I can't.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I think that's when everything changed, when I stopped doing the upbeat kind of guitar covers in pubs, and I started actually taking out the piano songs that I'd written at home.
Yeah.
So it was this strange sort of moment where I sort of accepted who I really was. It was like the rest of the world did as well. It was a really weird, incredible moment.
I mean, what was the process then for yourself? How do you go about writing a song? Do you do the lyrics first, or do you get the music, or is it a bit of both?
It's a really strange one. I still, to this day, I can't read music. I've never been able to.
Okay.
So for me, it's quite a kind of, like, instinctual thing. And I think, like, being at piano has always been the place where I turn to in my sort of darkest times. I always sort of, at school, I didn't have a lot of friends because I'm, you know, a redhead and very tall and just different from the other kids. So for me, it was like being able to turn to the piano was almost like turning to a friend in times of need. And it was like, that's what I've always done. Like, through all the sort of storms of my life, it's kind of the thing that anchors me to who I am. So I would have done it, you know, until I was the day I die anyway. But the fact that I get to do this as a job now is a beautiful thing. But it's a very kind of like, I shut my eyes and I just sort of see what happens. It's a very kind of writing from a very deep subconscious place. It's not a very conscious sort of thinking. It's more of a feeling. Okay.
Do you think I mean, what were you like at school then? I mean, you just touched on it then. You said no one was your friend, but I can't believe that. I mean, you come across as quite confident.
It's very, very true. Very true.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think it's just something about being like tall and like a redhead and just bigger than the other kids that isolates you.
Yeah.
And, you know, school's not a great time for many people, but because I was dyslexic as well, it was just like, it was cripplingly sort of lonely. Yeah. And so being able to go to the piano rooms at lunchtime was the only time that I could actually be myself.
That'll inspire my daughter.
So it's kind of the only way I got through. Yeah?
My daughter's dyslexic as well, so, and she's quite, and she's tall. She's 11, but you'd think she's nearly as tall as my wife, so
oh my God.
Yeah, so I'll say to her that you're dyslexic as well, so that'll inspire you even more. So no, that's good. I'm dyslexic myself, so and it sort of runs in the family, I guess, and so my daughter's got it worse than me. So
it's an amazing thing. Like when people tell their kids, when the schools tell kids that they're dyslexic, they never say it like it's a good thing. They always say it like, no, it's not great. But actually, it's been like one of the biggest defining features of my life. It's like, there's so many different kinds of intelligence, and like school only rewards like 2 of them.
Yes.
So
yes,
it's a beautiful thing when you get into the real world and you realise that you can be valued for something that isn't, reading or writing, like singing and playing piano.
Yeah, no, it's good to know. I mean, for me, I'm obviously a journalist, and I write, but for me, it's given me that kick up the backside to write better, and get into it more, and it's moved me ahead. I was told I would never do it, but at school, and I've proved them all wrong, so I am doing it. So.
Yeah. It gives you a bit of fire, doesn't it?
It does. It gives you that fire.
You prove people wrong.
It does. I mean, with yourself, I mean, obviously you just done Glastonbury, didn't you, weekend before, sorry.
Yeah, it was so surreal.
Yeah.
My mum was on the side of the stage just like absolutely gobsmacked because she hasn't come and seen me at a festival like that yet. To see, like 20,000 people, like, it's quite a lot, it's quite intense.
Yeah, we saw you, I think you did on the, like a live lunchtime last week when you were on the studio when they were filming you. My daughter put it on, I was like, okay, and then I started watching more and more, when you did the actual set. We caught it on catch-up. We caught the set
oh, cool.
catch-up, and amazing, but it's just, and then when I told my daughter I was speaking to you, she's like, oh gosh, yeah. But with your album then, obviously you've called it Freya Ridings. Would you say it was quite a bold move calling it after your name?
I mean, as like a first album, it's just so hard to kind of encapsulate the last 10 years of my life into one sort of theme.
Okay.
I think you have your lifetime to write your first kind of album and then a year to write your second. So it's that kind of vibe of the only thing that it had in common was kind of, it's just almost like a time capsule of the kind of the loves and losses of the last 10 years of my life in one record, and it's very surreal that it's at this moment where I actually get to release it. I kind of can't get my head around it, especially for some of the songs I've had for so long.
Yeah.
And I've played Lost Without You and Unconditional. I've played them at open mic nights for like 5 years, and it was just this strange thing where they're having their moment now, and I'm just so grateful that they had the opportunity to be heard by more people than a few people in a pub.
I'm glad this coming out. I mean, I know you did sort of 2 live albums, didn't you, before? Is that right? I think.
Yeah.
And they obviously went down well, but this is like the proper, your proper debut.
This is a real thing, isn't it? Quite scary.
It'll do well. I mean, gosh, I had the album about a week or 2 ago from PR, and it's been on non-stop, and yeah.
Really?
Oh gosh, no, I'm not lying to you.
I haven't had that any feedback yet. I'm so nervous.
No, I'm not lying to you. I mean, I have to listen to stuff all the time. I get about 10 albums a week sent to me, and it was, but yours has been on repeat play. I'm not joking, Freya. Honestly, it's really good. Not really good. It's excellent. If it doesn't go to number 1, I'll eat my shoes. I just think maybe a small pair of shoes. And when you see me in November, you better fucking have eaten them shoes.
I know, right? But I know how to. Like, we're up against Ed Sheeran, and like obviously he's the absolute king, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just so thrilled that I've had the opportunity to actually make a record that I'm this proud of, because it's not a given.
Yeah,
like in this day and age, to kind of for a woman to be allowed to write every song on her album, it's like it's not a thing anymore. So I'm so happy that I've been allowed to do this, and I've worked with such an incredible team, and they've just been so supportive of who I am as a writer, and as an artist.
I mean, I'll give you some other good feedback. Because I write for a few mags. I've got in Wales. You've got something called Buzz magazine, which is the biggest magazine in Wales, which is for listings and anything to do with music or what, And I spoke to the editor yesterday, and I said about speaking to you, and he told me I'd try and get you a double-page spread, which doesn't happen very often. We're talking 2 or 3 times a year.
Oh my God!
And it wasn't going to go in there. It wasn't going to go in there initially. It was going to go in Cardiff Times, which I also write for. But no, I've got it in Buzz as well. So yeah, it'll be like a hopefully 2-page spread. And then she said, "You're going to be massive. You're going to be the next Adele." And I'm thinking, okay. And she's been in the business 25 years, and she has interviewed. You name it, she's interviewed them, or had journalists interview them. You're talking about Amy Winehouse. She's interviewed them all. Adele, all of them. And listened to been to all the gigs, and she was saying she loves your music. I'm laughing for a good way.
Humbling.
It is. So and you've got, there's some good tracks on this album. Ultraviolet's another catchy one. Holy Water. There's a few different sort of tracks on there. They're not all the same sort. There's different sort of feel to them all, isn't there? Castles could be remixed by all the best DJs in the world and go down all the best nightclubs and dance clubs. It could be an Ibiza hit this year. I think it's amazing.
Thank you. It's that thing of because I didn't really go out as a young person. I wasn't cool enough to really go out.
I was going to ask you about that.
Songs I've written are in the club. It's heartwarming.
Oh man, I'm no doubt you'll be doing it soon though, Freya. You're not going to be a recluse. You've got to go out to Ibiza or somewhere, and just enjoy London, I guess.
I'm so far, I don't know, there's some part of me, it's I don't even understand the concept of holidays. It's I just love this so much. It's you just gotta give, I know things like this don't happen often. It's I just want to give it everything I've got.
Yeah.
But yeah, one day I'd love to go there.
Yeah, what's your, I know you're touring in the end of the year, but what have you got lined up for the next month or so? You got a lot of TV shows, hopefully you'll be going on Graham Norton, I hope so anyway. That's got to be out.
Oh my God, that's literally one of my goals, right? Okay. And I met him briefly at this party.
I met him once.
He had no idea who I am, and I was like, oh no, I might have messed it up. And my friend was like, no, it's fine, just say hi. I was like, I can't do it, I'm such a big fan. But he was actually really sweet, so I don't know, who knows what's going to happen. And I know that there aren't many slots, and it's really hard to get, so who knows.
I know. Well, I met Graham Norton once when I was really drunk in London, and I went up to him. I wanted to meet him, and I got up to him, and I was so wasted. I was talking so much gibberish, and he just looked at me and he goes, strange, and just walked off.
No.
Yeah, so mine beats yours. At least you got a conversation out. Yeah.
It was brief. I'll give you that. It was brief.
Not as brief as mine for you.
Oh.
But no,
it's funny, isn't it, when you meet your heroes and they're a bit just you're a bit nervous and oh God.
It is.
It would be amazing to do something like that. That was total childhood dream.
I'm sure it will. I mean, I know the BBC. They like a lot of current stuff and good stuff, and I know Graham has the final say, doesn't he? So, but I'm sure it's got to happen. Yeah, it's got to happen. I mean, it's got to happen. Jesus, I mean, it'd be stupid if they don't. I mean, jeez. But with Glastonbury, then, I mean, how did that come about then? Were they just approach you, did they, or was it something like the PR sort of worked on for a while? Or
it was actually crazy. Michael Lever came to my show in Bristol.
Joking.
And I was like dancing in like the third row, and I was looking down like I was like clapping along, and I was like, no way, that is not who I think it is. No. Because me and my dad are like such massive fans. Like we've watched it every year religiously.
Yeah.
Like everyone who's playing. So it was crazy. And he came backstage afterwards, and he was like, "Oh, you've got to play Glastonbury," and it was literally like, "I'm sorry, what?" like, that's crazy. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my god." So for me, it was like, I don't know, just being able to like bring my mom and like have my dad like watch it on TV. It was like total childhood dream, like achieved, and it's just really strange that it happened.
Did you get nervous though? I mean, I know you've obviously been. You were nervous though, yeah?
Super nervous. It was like such a hot day, and it seems like every time I do these things that scare me, because like they are scary, but I feel like I haven't been that nervous in a long time. Like I was nervous like a week before it, but it's so iconic that you want to give it everything. You want everything to be good, and like my band were incredible, and they stepped up and just they just get better and better, and I absolutely adore them. And like styling and hair, like everything. I was like, there's just so much to think about, but and it all came together, and it was just like this incredible moment of like, I don't know, it felt like flying. It was amazing.
It was flawless. I mean, I was going to ask you about the band. I mean, you've just touched on it. They've obviously been together for quite a while then, because it was like a flawless performance. So you obviously have been together for a while, haven't you, with the band?
Thank you. Well, Andrew, my guitarist, has probably been around the longest, and he's so lovely. They're all such like grounded, really, really sweet guys.
Yeah.
Like I've had to live on a tour bus with them for like months. Like I know them really well. But they're really gorgeous human beings. You have to go through a couple of crazy people to get to the good ones, and I'm so happy I've got to the good ones now.
Yeah.
Because it just makes it a joy to do.
And did you get to choose them, the guys, or was you just got put to you, or was it something that you just, I mean, do you have like a final say in it?
I totally have a final say, but it's mostly I just trust recommendations, and like once you have someone's ears that you trust, and they say, "Oh, I've worked with this person, they're lovely." I like trusting, other people to do their jobs well, and it's that thing of like everyone just sort of steps up in those moments, and it's really genuinely heartwarming because like it's quite vulnerable. It's like, it's a big moment and you just want it to go well, but they always like step up, and it's just incredible to watch, really.
And are they the
same?
When
I'm watching it back, I'm like rooting for them. I'm like, go on!
And I take it it's the same band that plays on the album, isn't it? It's the same guys.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's such good guys.
I mean, I was going to ask you. I mean, I know that. Did you not go to the Brit school? Was it something like that you went to after school? Was that right?
I did. I was homeschooled, and then I went to the Brit school for basically like my sixth form years.
Oh gosh, okay. I didn't know you were homeschooled.
Yeah, they do sixth form as well.
Oh no. So I didn't know you were homeschooled. I mean, was that because you moved around? I know your dad was in the entertainment industry. I know that, but I mean, was that because you moved around quite a bit, or?
No, it's just because from being like dyslexic and being sort of bullied, I went to a school in Hertfordshire that was a bit more like arty.
Yeah.
But then it was really, really far away, and there was just a part of me was like I was like a little ghost child. I just didn't sleep a lot.
Yeah.
So my mum was like, we'll focus on they told me I'd never get any GCSEs, so my mum like tutored me every day to make sure that like I would at least pass them. Okay. So what I wanted to do was go to the Brit school, so you had to have 5 GCSEs, which is what I got.
Oh god.
I'm still not very happy with it. I really am not.
I'm shit. And I don't think I got any when I left. When I left in 1990, which is obviously way before you were born, there was dyslexia, but dyslexia wasn't even, around that then. It was like, so I just left school with nothing, and then I did my qualifications after, but anyway. But, I mean, you got 5, which is better than me, Freya, better than me, so. But when you went to the Brit school, was that mainly for singing, or was that because you just wanted to sort of get a good grounding or anything to do with entertainment?
I think it's because, it was the only music school that would let you in without having grades, and I didn't have any grades.
Okay.
And I couldn't read music, so I wasn't like a musician. So what I wanted to get in was like for songwriting, and that was the only school that would accept that as a thing.
Okay.
So I did the audition not thinking that I would get in, and then I got in, and my family were like, oh damn. So they moved across London so I could go there. And it was a huge sacrifice, and like my whole family basically didn't really get to do what they wanted to do for 2 years to let me do that. So I'm always,
Oh,
I'm always like,
amazing.
saying thank you to them and doing everything I can to make them feel better.
Yeah, they're obviously, so proud, but are so relieved that it's paid off, that move then.
Yeah, because people used to treat, like, especially my mum, they were like, God, that's crazy, who would do that? And now everyone's like, this is crazy, you're getting to go to Glastonbury with your daughter. But at the same time, it's like, it's because of those years and years of sacrifice, and like, we didn't go on family holidays, we didn't do things that other families did. Now I get to do what I love, and I'm so grateful that they did that. They're incredible parents, incredible.
It means a lot having that family ethos and family grounding behind you as well, the family backing. I know some artists don't have that, but I think for you it's been key and inspirational for you as well, and everything to do with it to get you where you are, because the family's been there behind you all the time. So.
Yeah, because I didn't really ever do that thing at school where like I kind of became peer orientated. I was always like, my family were the people that I trusted the opinions of more than anyone, and I feel like they're just so wise, and they've done things before, and they can sort of, if you can learn from someone who's done it before and not make mistakes, like why wouldn't you do that? For me, that just seemed like the normal thing to do, but it didn't make me very cool. So it's crazy.
So when you were growing up, then, I mean, you said you were homeschooled. Did you still have any? What was your friendships like with other people? Was that like? Have you still got best friends from when you were younger? Still today? I guarantee you have, because you sound like the sort of person who's, still in touch with a lot of the friends. But I mean, how was that being homeschooled? Did you sort of mix with the other homeschooled kids, or?
Well, it was a strange one because I went to school really far away from where I live, so I didn't have any like local friends. I had a few that I knew from primary, but it's that thing of like when you're growing up, everything sort of changes. And I think that's something that I do struggle with to this day. Is like, because I'm so close with my family, and now I'm like so consumed with like my job and how much I love it. It's more like the people I work with are my closest relationships. I guess like I do have a few friends who's like they've seen me go from open mic nights to what we're doing now, and they are proud, and it's lovely. But I don't really have as many friends as I think people would think I do.
but in a way though, Freya, it's probably a good thing, because you don't have all the bullshit of all the, when it's like when girls at school, all the bitchiness and all that stuff, so you don't have that to deal with. There was actually another girl called Freya in my class at school, and I just remember like being called because she was Freya J and I was Freya R. And, like, they'd be talking about Freya, and I'd be like, oh, my God, is that me? And they'd be like, no, obviously not. It's the other Freya. I was like, okay. It's like, it's just funny now how things change. It is. But I bet that other Freya's not playing up Glastonbury and never will do so, without being nasty,
No. That's that thing about, if you have a really easy time at school, I'm not sure that the rest of your life is going to be that great.
Yeah, it's true actually. I mean, I know you say that thing I said earlier, things happen for a reason, and it makes you a stronger character.
Totally.
And like you say, it's worked. Well, it's not worked for you. It's made you who you are. But I know you said earlier about the album you've been writing for, say, on Lifetime, your first album. Your second album, you've got to write it in a year. What sort of pressures are? What sort of pressures are they on for this? I mean, I know you obviously have got lots of material. I mean, I don't doubt you haven't got maybe 50, 60, 70, 80 songs written. You probably have more, maybe less. I don't know. But for the second album, what sort of pressures are on you for that? I mean, to perform.
It's a funny one because I've been kind of writing. I'm constantly like recording like voice memos of like choruses and like ideas. I always write choruses first.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like that's the core of the heart of the song.
Okay.
And like verses, like I struggle with a bit more unless they come out fully formed, in which case it's a good day.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like especially with traveling so much, it's just trying to grab those moments of like inspiration where you have them and like capture them.
Yeah.
So when I can kind of get home, I can work on them and finish them up. But I've already got like some voice memos that I'm so excited for to be on the second album. I'm like, oh, because there's so much going on that I have more to write about than ever. It's like it's different, but it's a lot. It's an emotional journey, and I can't wait to actually start making a second record, because I feel like I've been making this one for so long that the idea of making another one just seems like incredibly exciting to me right now.
I'm looking for. I mean, this one's obviously the one's coming out. I mean, like I said, I've been listening to it, but I think the second one do you think it'll be a different? I mean, you obviously written things, so you've been writing things more recent. Then, will it be much? I mean, I don't want to dwell too much on what's going to happen in the future. But do you think that the future work by you is going to be much different than what's already on this new album, on the first album?
I think the difference will be like the confidence in it, because when I wrote these songs, I didn't know that anyone wanted to hear them.
Okay.
And so there was a kind of like a quiet, like I had to do it in a lot of like isolation. So this album is kind of written with a bit more, like especially from playing live. Like I love the idea of like creating songs that are going to be sort of like a heightened emotional state live. Like to me, that's just, I think we just need to keep pushing, and pushing is like, I just want to keep getting better in terms of like lyrics, because that's still, as a dyslexic person, a bit where I sort of, if I overthink them too much, I struggle. So I just want it to keep as sort of authentic and genuine to kind of what I'm going through as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I lost my phone at Glastonbury. I literally dropped it.
Oh
I
shit.
was doing a BBC interview and I dropped it by the pyramid stage. And I was just so gutted because I had all these voice memos that I love, and I was like, oh god, I've lost my second album basically. I hadn't backed them up. But someone handed it in, luckily, so...
Oh, they did?
It's all back on.
Oh, shit, okay. Oh, wow, okay. I know what you mean. I've got one of my phones. I've got two of my iPhones, and I know I record some of the interviews on one of the phones, but, like I have now, and if I lost this, I mean, I back it up every week, but I'd be, if I dropped this, fucking now, I don't know what I'd do. But
I know how you feel so much. So much.
So, I mean, what sort of music? I mean, I could talk to you all day. I don't know how long you've got, or how long you want to speak for. I mean, I'm going to take as much time as I can.
I'm just in traffic.
Oh, are you in London? Are you?
I'm on the way to the airport. We're going to Germany. We're flying in a few hours.
Oh, okay. But where are you going? Where are you going to Germany? Anywhere nice?
We're going to Cologne to do I think a TV show.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to live near there.
Berlin. We're doing Cologne, Berlin, and then home.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little trip.
I used to live in Germany.
I love it. It's fun.
I lived there for 2 years in Germany, so it's a fun.
Did you where?
I lived near Dusseldorf, so northwest Germany, so not far from Cologne.
No way. I think we're going past Dusseldorf at some point. I think there's a radio thing in Dusseldorf.
Yeah, well, the airport's at Dusseldorf, so you might fly into Dusseldorf. I don't know if you fly into Dusseldorf Airport, but I don't know. But,
really, yeah.
Or Cologne, but yeah, no, I used to live there for 2 years, so it's Germany's a fascinating place.
Right.
Yeah, I was in the army, you see, so I got medical discharge from the army.
Oh.
So that's why.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's a big story.
You have to move around so much.
Oh, I've done a lot of things.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah, I've done a lot of travelling. I mean, you will overtake me at some point soon. I know you will, but I have been everywhere and everywhere. So I mean,
sometimes it does feel like that kind of like that vibe of like every day a new country, but I love it. It's fun, isn't it?
It is good. I mean, when you're travelling, what sort of music do you listen to then? Do you listen to anyone?
That's the thing. I need to get more like recommendations, because I feel like every time I listen to a new album or a new record, I get like super inspired. It's just like the pathways in your brain, just sort of not knowing what to expect. Like it feels just exciting. I love hearing new music. Like I'm loving like Billie Eilish and like Hosia's new album. Like I just love like great new songs. Like it makes me super happy.
I'll tell you what you should listen to.
Yeah, just Spotify in general.
I mean, you should try and get Will Young. I mean, I know it's maybe your cup of tea, but his new album's quite good. I spoke to Will about 2 months ago.
I love Will Young.
His new album.
I love him.
His new album's either out now or out in the next week or so. I don't know. I've got a copy at home. Yeah, and I'll tell you what. It's really.
I need recommendations, Carl. Give me all the recommendations. That's it.
Yeah, Will Young's new album.
Will Young's new album.
Honestly, it's really good. Honestly, I think and he's nice. Have you ever met the guy? I mean, he can talk. I mean, I like Will. He talks very open. He's a nice guy. So, but you will meet him at some point.
I remember do you remember him and Gareth Gates? I remember my whole family voting for him.
Oh yeah. No, same. No, I know. He's
crazy. Like he's had such a long career and he so deserves it.
Yeah, and he's such a nice guy. He's very humble and he is. But no, it's a new album. I swear by it, honestly, Freya. You got to listen to. Or I don't know if you know a band.
Any other recommendations? Yeah,
you got a band called Feeder. They were quite big in the 90s and the Zeros. I don't know if you call it. And they're a Welsh band, but they've got a new album out. They're quite good. Feeder, Feeder.
Okay, Feeder.
Feeder, yeah, they've got a new album. That's quite good as well. I could text you some if you want me to. I can when I have a thing. I've got.
Actually, yeah, that would be great. Literally, really great. I need because there's so much new music, isn't there? But you just don't know what's good.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a girl called Freya Ridings. She's amazing as well.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah. No.
I've never heard.
No, I'll have a think of you. I'll have a,
every time I'm on Spotify. I can't get over it.
no, I'll have a think, and I'll text you if you don't mind. If you don't mind me doing that anyway, I'll text you.
Thank you. No, that's great.
And like I say, but no, I could talk. I mean, if you got a few more minutes, I don't mind keep talking to you. I mean, like I say, I'm going to get this in 2 publications. I might even put up my own thing as well. So, but
Yeah,
with yourself,
great tattoo.
I mean, when did you discover then the voice that you had? I mean, I know you don't just wake up one day and think, well, you can sing. I mean, your voice is so. It's not. I can't think of the word. It's just you never forget your voice. You know what I mean? Once you've heard your voice, you never forget. I mean, when did you discover you could sing?
I was in the choir at school,
Okay.
but the boys actually used to make fun of me because I had like a sort of low voice. Like for a little girl, I did have a low voice.
Yeah.
But then it kind of became like this thing where one day this girl, she sort of realised, she heard me like singing something, and I was just going around the playground, and she went around telling everyone that I could sing. And it was like the first day where like anyone in my class had actually cared that I was like there.
Right.
So for me, it was a weird day where everyone would kind of be like, wow, Freya can sing. And on like talent show days, like that would be like the only day that people would like acknowledge my existence, and the rest of the time I would just get completely ignored.
Oh,
So
right.
I think I always I saw it as like a way to kind of escape.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was probably when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I just remember everything changed, and I was like, because I'd never felt good at anything, and I was like, oh, this is like, I'm going to hang on to this.
Yeah. It's just, I know that being dyslexic, my daughter, she's part of the choir as well, and she gets enjoyment out of that.
Yeah.
And it sort of brought her out of her shell because she suffered quite with a bit of bullying. That's why we had to move schools.
Yeah.
So listening to what you were saying, it's hitting home so much because it's like talking about my daughter. It's weird. It's so weird. You've got to meet her at some point anyway. We're definitely, I would
love to meet you. I would love that.
Definitely for November. So.
Because that's like the biggest thing that I'm probably like most unexpectedly, but also the thing I'm most proud of is that like young girls like come up to me, I've showed them they're like they feel better about themselves because of something I'm doing, and I'm like, I never thought that would be something that would come from music, but because of how I felt at school and how isolated I was, like that just means so much when I see young girls like finding that sort of self-esteem and in something that isn't am I pretty or do boys like me, because there's so much more than that, and it's like, oh, I'm so proud of them.
It is. I mean, it gives them confidence. It's like you say, once they hear your story, it motivates them to think, well, they're not the only ones who are being bullied, or they're too tall, or they're different colour, like you say, different colour hair and all that.
That was really, really big as well. I feel like there were so many elements of like school life that were just not like the kind of thing that I was had no value or currency at school, but in the real world it has so much, and it's just bizarre that you can feel bankrupt in one world and then so grateful in another. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, for yourself, then, have you, talking about something different, I mean, have you been able to meet any of your heroes? I know it sounds silly because you will become a hero to many in very soon, but I mean, you've been able to meet any of your heroes just yet?
Well, I met Florence quite early on, and I was not prepared for that. I don't even think I'd done a headline show at that point. It was like very early on, and I was in this like studio in Peckham. And I don't know, I think I was a bit hungover. I wasn't really expecting anyone to walk in, but we were in the tea room, and I like turned straight into each other, and it was like this weird like sort of universe moment of being like ta-da. But I thought I would be really cool, but I literally was completely speechless, and she was just like hi, and I was like, I literally didn't say anything. I was like, what is wrong with me? I couldn't shut my mouth. It was horrific. I feel like I'd be better now, but back then I was not cool. But she slipped a little note under the door being like, it was lovely to meet you, Freya. I love Florence. And I was like, I think she knew that I was a bit of a fan. She was so lovely.
Yeah, because I mean,
she's
got a voice as well. I mean, you're not the same at all, but do you know what I mean? People might think, Florence and you, you've got that outstanding.
That's a huge compliment. Like, I adore her.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She was on my bedroom wall when I was growing up. It's like, I think she's incredible.
Oh, wow, okay. And she's also a redhead as well, isn't she? So.
Yeah. I think there was like a secret sort of like redhead community thing. Like, I was like doing a few interviews like the other day, and someone was like, "Why do you think it's about redheads that makes us like like so passionate about stuff?" And I was like, "Well, I'd heard that redheads feel a third more pain." I was like we literally need like more anaesthetic, like if we have an operation or something.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it's just like Celtic. Celtic Wales, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're not from Wales, are you? I mean, obviously you're born in London, but you haven't got any family from this area.
No, but my mum has a lot of like Irish relatives. So that's kind of, I think, where my red hair comes from.
Right.
But no one else in my family is a redhead. It's just me.
Oh, okay. Gosh, okay. Interesting. Oh, okay. So, what I mean, do you fear anything going forward then, Faye? I mean, I know the entertainment industry is quite a daunting, and it can be quite hard at times. I mean, are you prepared for that? Or do you fear anything going forward?
It is like, honestly, I don't think anything really prepares you for what it's like to kind of have this much adrenaline in your system, because it's absolutely like the highest highs, but there are those days where you're like, this is hard, but I would never ever change it for the world. And I think having a family that grounds me like this much is the only reason why I think I can do this. I think if you didn't have a family or some kind of base, you just need to come home from these very kind of extreme whirlwind situations and just have a family that just, has a laugh around the kitchen table. Like that's kind of the way I'm dealing with it. And I think it's a lot more sustainable, and I feel a lot more happy with that than going out and raving it up. It's like, for me, it's, going home to my dad and mum and having a cup of tea really grounds me.
Yeah. No, I mean, are you an only child? I'm not sorry for asking you. Oh, you got brothers and sisters?
No, my brother. I have one brother, and he's 17.
Oh, okay.
He's an absolute legend. I love him. But he's definitely like the first person to tell me if I do anything that isn't cool. He's my biggest fan, but he's also my greatest critic, and I love him to bits.
Oh, wow. Okay.
As all teenage brothers are.
Oh, well, yeah, it's true. So, one last question. I know you probably, I've got to type all this up as well. So.
I think we're almost there, yeah.
Oh, gosh, at the airport. Oh, okay. One last question. I was going to say, you obviously what people see about you as what you are. You will never ever become a diva. Why do you think some singers become divas? I mean, why is that? Because they.
This is such a good question. I love this question. No one's ever asked me this.
Okay.
I feel like I understand now much more how that could happen.
Okay.
Because I feel like musicians and songwriters especially, it's quite a sensitive thing. You have to be quite a sensitive kind of person. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, but you get put in these quite harsh, extreme situations, and if you don't have people to physically ground you, to remind you why you're doing this, it's I could see how very, very easily this could go to your head. Right. But at the same time, you just have to remember it's a blessing. And also those years in the wilderness of having to work for it are so critical.
Yeah.
If this happened to someone at 17 or 15, this would be hard to deal with. And not even where I am, the Justin Bieber, I feel for them so much, because as children, you just don't have any perspective. I feel like at the time, the years where I was kind of playing open mic nights and everything felt very, very difficult. I'm so grateful for that time now, because it puts everything in perspective. It's there's no plane or train I'm not going to get on, because I know how grateful I am to be in a position to get to do this.
Yeah. I understand. It's like I spoke to Kelly Jones.
It's very ungrounding as a lifestyle choice. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I mean, I spoke to Kelly Jones, Stereophonics, last month, and he was saying the same thing. You've got to work hard. If you don't work hard and play the open mic, or play in the back of travel in the back of a transit van, go around the country and play all these shitty clubs, and he's saying a lot of these young that are on, not an X Factor, but them types that get put on a pedestal, and then they can't deal with it, and they go off the rails because they haven't had to work hard for it.
It's like altitude sickness. It's you have to do it gradually. Otherwise you get to the top and it's you have to have walked it. You can't just get a helicopter, otherwise you just get super, super sick.
Yeah.
But it's that thing of if you've worked for 10 years on something, you're going to feel a lot more proud of achieving something if it just happens overnight.
Yeah.
And it's the same for anything. If someone just gave someone a doctorate overnight, they'd feel it wouldn't be real, because they hadn't done the work. You need to do the work to feel grounded enough to be able to do this job. But it's not. I think me and my dad sat at the kitchen table literally yesterday morning, just being we're just so lucky that we get to do what we love. There are huge sacrifices, but we wouldn't change it for the world. Making people happy and getting to travel the world doing what we love, it's just an absolute dream. But there are elements to it, but you do have to keep an eye on how you're feeling and your mental health, because it's not a given. You have to fight for your health in this job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you are obviously eating healthy and drinking, keeping yourself out, fit and all the rest. So.
Yeah, I don't drink when I'm working, and like try and eat as many vegetables as I can in an airport. But there aren't that many.
I know.
Eating a lot of KFC, but at the same time, it's like that balance and just making sure there's good people around you. That's everything.
It is. Well.
Oh, I think I'm arriving.
Oh no, well.
I'm arriving at Heathrow.
Oh, that was a lovely chat. I mean, thank you for your time and like I say, you're an inspiration.
So much,
I'll let my daughter know, the story. I mean, she'll see the interview anyway.
I would love to meet her. Please come backstage at Cardiff and say hi. That'd be amazing.
Okay, you're gonna have a sort of a little after party. Like, I know I did that with a few of the gigs.
It depends. Is it mid-tour? You guys should come on the tour bus. Come have a look at the tour bus.
Right, okay. What I'll do, I'll speak to Kat. Is it Kat I need to speak? I'll speak to Kat anyway, and also.
Yeah.
But I'll text you some music tips anyway if you don't mind. I'll do that.
Please do.
Nice one.
Please do. I'm so desperate for new recommendations.
No,
have a lovely rest of your day.
And you, much appreciated. Thank you, friend. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.